What is going on, guys? Matt in the Hat, Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the Hot List. In the Hot List, we discuss properties listed by myself or my brokerage, and I answer a question of the week submitted by you, the listeners. Just a reminder, I do now have a submission form in the details section. You can just type in your email, type in whatever your real estate question is, hit send. That will come to me, and I will be able to reply to you with that answer. That is also going to give me future content for future episodes. Again, because if you have that question about real estate, the chance that somebody else has that question is extremely high. So what better way to not only help you, but help others than by doing episodes just like this one and give me a chance to answer the question for you, do a video to answer the question for others, send it out to people and get it in front of them. So this is episode number 272, and I have some things working in motion. I know that I've had some of you reach out to me about the insurance questions, and I am working on a time that I am going to be able to get that done and do that with an insurance agent. So just be patient with me, and we're gonna keep working through this and keep moving forward. So, in order to answer this week's question of the week, this is a good one. I'm not gonna lie, this is a great question. So this week's question of the week: do I need a home inspection? And this is an interesting question because there really isn't a right or a wrong answer unless you live somewhere that requires a home inspection. So if you live somewhere that requires a home inspection, then you obviously have your answer. There are many pros and cons to home inspection. Yes, there is money involved up front to do inspections. But before I get too far down that rabbit hole, let's go through some information and some details about what a home inspection actually is. So first off, a home inspection is not an appraisal. An appraisal determines the value of a home, and an appraisal is something that a lender has in place that they'll have an appraiser go to the property, do an inspection of the property to either help determine or justify the value agreed on the contract. An inspection looks into the condition of the home. So those are two very different items. Just want to get that clear. And the details of the inspection are going to vary by where you live. For example, a rural area versus a metro area. It's going to vary. So it's going to be vary by where you live, the type of home being inspected, and the type of inspection being performed, because there are a couple different types of inspections. There's a general home inspection that is done by a licensed home inspector that covers general items of the home, such as the roof, garage, foundation, maybe the HVAC or the walls. And this can be performed by either a home inspector or a licensed contractor. The second type of inspection is they're more specialized inspections, typically done for items flagged during a general home inspection for potential defects. This could be items like potential asbestos, mold, radon, termites, septic. And so those can be narrowed down to very specific items. And the goal of the inspection is to determine the condition of the house. Like I mentioned, this ensures the home is livable, safe, and highlight any repairs necessary for the property. Once the inspection is completed, you as the buyer will receive a report with the results. There'll be items included in that, like the condition of the roof, windows, plumbing, electrical, and on, depending on the type of inspections. You may also get other issues that are flagged with the property. This report is designed to help you make decisions about the house, whether to move forward with it or not. Negotiate any repairs, again, if applicable, depending on the offer. Help you budget for necessary repairs or future repairs down the road, or maybe even do some potential upgrades that you're wanting to do. So along with this question, do I need a home inspection? There's kind of a follow-up question of do I need one, or should I waive inspections? And for this one, I can only give my opinion. And my opinion is that you should never waive inspections. There are exceptions to this. I've even helped exceptions to this. So the exceptions to this rule, or I guess not rule, but my opinion, are investors, contractors, or like flippers or property managers, because they know there's going to be issues. They just want to get the property. And usually with these types of buyers, they've done this multiple times before. They either have their own crew or a relationship with some type of contractor to do the repairs, and they're going to buy it to flip it or buy it to hold it and turn it into a rental. And over the last 2 years, many homeowners have waived inspections, whether it is just to get the home because they've been looking for an extended period of time, other times because an agent has recommended or stated that, air quotes here, the only way to get the house is to waive inspections, or the only way to make a competitive offer is to waive inspections. Now, this is just my opinion, but that agent is not looking out for your best interest. There are other ways to make a stronger offer and still do inspections. And I don't recommend waiving inspections because of the risks that are involved or potentially involved with waiving those inspections. So today, and so I can answer the question of should I do or do I need a home inspection? We are actually going to talk about 7 reasons to never waive home inspections. And the first one is to catch potential problems early. And this is one of the best reasons to get a home inspected, because you could catch major issues or what might be deal breakers early. For example, a leaky faucet in the kitchen found or caught early enough, could just be a little water on the bottom cabinet. Not caught or not inspected, this could turn into mold, damage to the cabinet, maybe even flooding your kitchen, and that just adds to the damage and repairs. Catching something early can also save you potentially thousands of dollars, because Inspections will range anywhere from about $200 to $600, depending on how many inspections or what type of inspections that you have done. Now, if you have some specialized inspections, that could go over that $600 mark, but the general range is between that 200 to 600. And number two, you're going to get an honest evaluation of the home, because most often home inspectors have no skin in the game. They're not trying to sell you on anything. They are there to do the inspection that they were hired to do, which means you're going to get an unbiased evaluation of the property, defects and all. And at the end, like I mentioned, you're going to get a report. This is going to give you a list of the defects, and it may or may not have estimates depending on if you have a contractor do the inspection or a home inspector do it. And remember, a general home inspector is not licensed for everything, so they're not going to be able to give you an estimate for the repairs. What they might do is flag an item and say cracks in foundation, recommend foundation or structural expert to come out. They are going to do it that way because they're not an expert on that particular item. On the other side, if a contractor is chosen to do some of the inspections for the home, it could look a little different because they are licensed, they are insured to do the job and get the work done. So they could find maybe the same items or maybe even different items wrong, and that report could look a little bit different. Having a contractor do it, they will be able to give you an estimate for the repairs that, or for the items that were flagged. Now, they will also flag items that are not of great importance. The one that I see most often flagged are broken outlet covers, or maybe a bulb in a fan or a light fixture doesn't work, but one or two of the other ones do work. So items like that, they're going to be flagged. Just know that ahead of time, but those are not deal breaker items. Number 3 is probably my favorite one. They look where you don't want to. Not many of us enjoy heading into a dark crawl space, storm shelter, or even up in an attic. Problems with homes are not limited to common areas or easily accessible areas of the house. And inspectors and contractors will crawl under the house, into an attic, go down in a basement, as long as they can get access to where they need to do the inspection, they will do it because they were hired to do the job. And while many of us as home buyers will fall in love with maybe the paint color of the house or the style of the house, inspectors do the dirty work and give us a potential big picture of what may be lurking, of what we're not seeing. They pay attention to areas or components that are potentially dangerous. Maybe it's your electrical system, maybe it's your furnace, whatever that may be. And then they examine it in detail to make sure that it is working and functioning properly. I don't know about y'all, but I am not, and I've been in my share of crawl spaces, but in Kansas in summer, I am not willing to go into a crawl space under a house. I've heard too many stories from contractors, either about snakes being under there or some type of um, varmint or vermin being under there, and you're in a crawl space. You're not getting away quickly. You're not moving quickly. And by them willing to go in places like that, they may also uncover a either pest control issue or termite issue. Um, for example, I had one. He got into a crawl space, just doing the termite inspection, and he found that there was actually termite damage to the floor joist because it was a crawl space, and flagged it because if it wasn't treated, because there was live termites in there not being treated, that is going to lead to structural damage down the road. Number 4, safety, structural, and health. These are the 3 major areas that I advise buyers to focus on once they get that inspection report. Now, I'll also tell you, no home is perfect. I've even had buyers that have done home inspections on new construction and still found items. So there are going to be defects. If the house is 10 plus years, there's going to be defects. So just be prepared. Now, some issues that may be found are pretty common and generally not major issues. Like, you may have a 3-prong outlet that doesn't show a ground, and that's typically because somebody just took the 2-prong outlet and converted it to a 3-prong, and there's not a ground. Or maybe there's inoperable windows because the pulley system is broke, or maybe they're painted shut. Those are going to be areas that aren't major issues, uh, that you may not want to say, hey, this is a deal breaker for me if you don't get the windows working. Those are minor issues in my opinion. Now, when it comes to safety issues, this could be radon, this could be mold, this could be carbon monoxide, and all homes can be tested for these if the buyer would like. There will be an additional cost for that. And remember, you have a small window to do the inspections. So if you're going to do some of these inspections, make sure that your agent knows what that time frame is and gets it extended if needed. Along with structural, I feel like this is the most important component of the area, because it could potentially could cost you thousands of dollars to repair, and is, I feel like, one of the easiest to be flagged or find some type of, or during the inspection, because the inspectors are going to look for cracks in ceilings, and in the walls, maybe cracks in the foundation, or out of level doors or windows. Those are all going to be signs that there is going to be something structural going on. And then health is the last major area of concern. I mentioned the mold in the safety section. It's worth mentioning again, just because not every inspector can test for mold. Not everything you see is going to be mold. We as agents are not experts, so we cannot state for certain that that is mold. So if that is a concern for you or maybe somebody in your family, you want to look at getting it tested, and just be aware and be careful. Number 5, the reports provide materials for negotiations. Now, a buyer can determine what they need to be, or what they want to be corrected in order to move forward. Some buyers may scare easily. Usually it's first time buyers because they've never been down that road. and it could be overwhelming and intimidating to get this 27-page report on a house that you fell in love with, and you're freaking out because you are thinking the worst. This is a time where you really need to lean on your agent or have a good relationship with an inspector or contractor so they can walk you through the items and just let you know the areas of concern that might be either safety, hazardous, or what might just be recommended. Then the buyer is going to have the opportunity to request repairs from the seller. At that point, the seller has a chance to agree or disagree with the repairs requested. And without having that inspection report, you as the buyer won't have this opportunity. So I just want you to keep that in mind and think about that. Another route that you could go with negotiation is not just a repair request, but it could be in the form of a price negotiation, like a price reduction. And the purpose of a home inspection isn't to get a better price due to minor issues found. Now, again, if major issues are found, then by all means negotiate the repairs, negotiate whatever you need to feel comfortable in order to move forward. But if issues that are found aren't major and the loan doesn't require repairs, many times an agent will help negotiate a price reduction in lieu of those repairs. You know, if nothing else, this gives you as a buyer, this gives you a list of items that either need to be repaired, maybe they just need to be upgraded, and gives you an estimate of what the cost will be for those items. Number 6, it provides an out. You know, unfortunately, and I've been a part of a few of these, but unfortunately, not every transaction survives the home inspection period. And the biggest reason they don't move forward is because the buyer and seller can't agree on repairs or a renegotiated price. Most offers do have a protection clause in there for the buyer in this situation and allow for the contract to be canceled. Just check with your agent, ask about it, make sure it's in there, make sure it's either in the protections either in the offer, or maybe if there's a separate inspection offer or form, make sure it's in there as well. And finally, number 7, it gives you peace of mind. Homes are typically the largest purchase we make in our lifetime. Because of that, having a home inspection can provide that peace of mind, because the primary purpose of a home inspection is to ensure the home is solid and safe. uh, during the inspection, there's going to be age estimates given for most, if not all, of the mechanical systems, like electrical, roof, HVAC, water heater, and the inspector may provide a current condition and potentially a shelf life. For example, the most common one I've seen is the water. We'll just throw out an example. So, water heater is 9 years old. Average shelf life of a water heater is 6 years. So, buyer needs to be aware water heater could need replaced in the future. And this is going to give the buyer an idea of what's coming, what the potential cost may be, and help them budget for future expenses that are going to be coming. Maybe hopefully it's as simple as a water heater. Maybe it's something like a furnace or your roof. You don't really know, and you won't know if you don't have the inspections done. So those are the 7 reasons to never waive home inspections. And I just want to reiterate this. I know I've said this already a couple times, but home inspections are worth doing. They are relatively inexpensive compared to the possible repairs needed that you don't know about. And you're going to find this up front. You're going to get a report list of everything that was found and flagged before you go to closing. If that's not worth spending, $400 or $500, I'm not sure what is. So I hope this sorry. I hope this helps and answers that question, plus gives y'all some guidance of maybe you're going through the process, or gives you some guidance of what you need to do next and move forward. I hope y'all like this episode. I hope you guys like episodes like this. I like questions like this, and because I get to not just do some research, but I get to call home inspectors and pick their brain, as well as contractors. If that's something that y'all want to see, let me know. I know that I had a handful of you reach out about the insurance, and I'm lining up an insurance agent right now. So look for that in the near future. If you want me to line up a home inspector or maybe a contractor to get on the podcast and ask them some questions, maybe some stories of what they've seen, what they would recommend, then let me know in the comments. I'm open to do that as well. I'm always open to have somebody on here that has the experience and knowledge that I don't have. I'm in no way an expert on everything. That's why I do this episode or this podcast, because oftentimes I learn just as much as you guys do. Also, don't forget, question of the week submission form is now in the details section. And please leave me a review on iTunes and Spotify. It helps get me in front of more people just like you watching this or listening to this. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that thumbs up button so you get notifications, and send this to somebody that is going through the home buying process. Send it to them, tag them, and hopefully this helps and gives them some direction. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 272. Again, I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Williams Diamond Partners, and I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have a phenomenal rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Take care.